Here we are working on Unit 3, Activity 4, which involves workplace communications. So the first thing that you're going to do is watch this short clip from Brooklyn Nine-Nine about the communication between two police officers. And you're going to think, is it effective or is it ineffective, the type of communication that they are using? Once you've watched the clip, I want you to join the discussion and list some examples of effective and ineffective communication at a workplace. Have you ever experienced really great or really poor communication at work? I want you to comment on at least two other students' posts to share your thoughts and suggestions and to help continue the dialogue around those questions. Then you're going to move on and you're going to be reading work schedules. So, for some of you who have a job currently, you probably have had to read your own work schedule. So, here we give an example of a work schedule for a bakery, and you can consider yourself the new employee and you can look to see what you'll be working and try and figure out how much you are working that week. And you can keep notes for your own records here. The other thing that you're going to be looking at is reading staff manuals and employee handbooks. And for any job that you may get, this might be something that you need to do. So make sure you understand how to do that, as well as any financial documents. So once you get a job, you're going to get paid. So you might need to figure out some things about your financial information. And it's important for this course that you learn how to read different types of graphs. So here there's different types of graph that you can look at and give examples. So the line graph, the bar graph, and a pie chart. And see if you can answer some of those questions again in your notebook. Next, you're going to think about invoices. So, in some jobs that you could have, you might need to know what an invoice is. So, invoices are sent from the seller to the buyer, and they indicate what has been sold and how much the buyer has to pay. So, again, depending on your workplace, you may or may not have had to deal with an invoice that looks something similar to this. And again, in your notebook, you can look at some of the answers there. Also, memos can be a big part of any workplace. So they're going to give an example here of how to read a memo and what questions, again, you might need to consider when reading a memo. Report writing is also a big thing that you may or may not have to do at your work in the future. Incidents reports are often things that employers might have to fill out. So here is an example of two different incidents reports that you could go through. And then for your own portfolio, you can fill out an accident or incident report. So here, there's a photo that you can look at, and then your task is to look at the image and use your imagination to create a scenario about how this might have happened. Fill in the incident report, and you can make up information, but just make sure you're using it from the image and you're not going outside of that too much. And then you're going to save that incident report to the portfolio so that I can see that it's saved there. All right, and then you can just review, and that is what you need to do for this activity.